Hello, good evening. I'm Kubrali and this is Awaz News. Let's take a look at the top stories here in Canada.
A Toronto lawyer and private equity investor has donated $10 million to expand obsessive-compulsive disorder (OCD) research and treatment at Sunnybrook Hospital after receiving care there himself. It was 2019 when Brian Reeves spent 4 months in the Toronto Hospital's Frederick W. Thompson Anxiety Disorders Center (OCD) program, which he said gave him a life reset. "I will always be grateful for the treatment I received," Reeves said in a news release announcing his donation. Establishing in 2012 following a $10 million donation from the center's late namesake, Sunnybrook says its facility is the only one in Canada that specializes in treating OCD, which it says affects an estimated 400,000 Canadians. Since then, the center has treated nearly 400 patients through its intensive live-in and day program, which Sunnybrook says is the first and only one of its kind in Canada. The hospital said Reeves' donation will accelerate the expansion and relocation of the Thompson Center's 24/7 OCD treatment unit from a local community setting to a permanent home at Sunnybrook's Bayview campus, which will be known as the Reeve OCD Center. Sunnybrook defines OCD as a mental illness consisting of two components, obsessions and compulsions. Obsessions are the cognitive component and typically present as repetitive and intrusive thoughts, images, or impulses. Those thoughts then trigger an anxiety response through behaviors or compulsions to try and get rid of anxiety. For someone with this severe OCD, compulsions can take up a considerate amount of time, having a significant impact on their ability to manage their daily lives, according to the hospital. Reeves said his donation is an expression of his gratitude to Sunnybrook, but also an investment in OCD treatment that he hopes will pay large dividends in the future. The federal government announced a new suite of measures it says will support law enforcement in detecting and disrupting extortion in communities around Canada, including Peel Region. Speaking at a news conference in Mississauga, Federal Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne outlined Ottawa's Follow the Money strategy to curb the rise in extortion incidents across the country. He said he has directed the CEO of the Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Centres of Canada to prioritize and mobilize resources to support law enforcement. This support, he said, includes sending liaison officers with the organization to work on the ground alongside law enforcement in select regions around the country, including Peel Region and parts of BC and Alberta. He added that FinTrack will publish new strategic intelligence that examines how criminal networks launder proceeds. Peel Regional Police Deputy Chief Nick Vilinovich said last year alone there were 476 reports of extortion in Peel Region. He said 29 of those 119 involved shootings are arsons. He applauded the announcement from the federal government on Thursday, noting that many stakeholders must come together to tackle extortion. Milinovich called extortion one of the most serious public safety threats that the country and the region is currently facing. There's a sandwich. Foodies have flown thousands of kilometers to Japan to try and have strategized how to get through customs to share with friends back home. Though it sells just a few bucks and comes wrapped in plastic, it even got the stamp of approval from late food journalist Anthony Bourdain, who labeled it Pillows of Love. The sandwich, a tamago sando or Japanese-style egg salad sandwich, comes from 7-Eleven, one of the world's biggest convenience store chains. The treat, which Nestlé's a generous heap of cooked eggs and equi-pie mayonnaise between fluffy pieces of crustless milk bread, is about to make its way to Canada on March 4th. But for 7-Eleven, it's much more than a sandwich. It's a small part of broader 5-year push to deepen the chain's presence in Canada and help it grow in an environment where everyone is now their competitor. That means the convenience stores you might have popped into for a chocolate bar are now facing competition from Walmart, which has plunked itself in every city with more than 10,000 people, and other discount stores where treats are a very low price, he said. Also in the mix are grocery stores with expanded snack sections and more ready-to-go meals than ever, food trucks that can pop up in front of the busiest office districts, and fast food chains welcoming walk-in customers and other requesting meals through delivery apps. Never was that more true than over the last 2 years when Alimentation couche-tard the level Quebec-based convenience store Goliath, also behind Circle K and Ingo, tried to purchase 7-Eleven parent company 7 and I Holdings. 7 and I board initially rebuffed couche-tard's overtures, but then the Quebec firm sweetened its deal and the two met at the table to discuss how a sale could get regulatory approval. Months later, couche-tard walked away, accusing its takeover target of a persistent lack of good faith engagement. Asked about the failed merger and how it's shaping the company now, Goodman said, "That was interesting, but we never lost sight and never took our foot off the pedal. We continued down our path in our direction, and we are glad we did it now. It's time to accelerate," he said. That plan is to combat competition, not just with sandwich, but also with a revamp to 7-Eleven's business model and move towards franchising. The chain, which has been in Canada since 1969, has 450 corporately owned stores between Ontario and BC. Goodman says a franchisor could help the company reach the Maritimes and Quebec and beef up its presence in Ontario. Franchisee growth will come as the company slowly repositions itself to be more like quick serve restaurant that happens to sell convenience stores items, he said. Some of that shift has already taken shape with many locations selling beer and wine and other offering dine-in seating for customers who don't want to dirty their car with food. The former Prince Andrew has been released after his arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office. The Thames Valley Police Force said the former prince was released Thursday evening. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was photographed in a car leaving the station near his home in Easton, England, about 11 hours after his arrest. He was released under investigation, meaning he has neither been charged nor exonerated. Mountbatten Windsor was arrested near early Thursday at his home by detectives investigating his ties to the late Jeffrey Epstein. Police said they had finished searching Mountbatten Windsor's home but were still searching another property. The former Prince Andrew was arrested by UK police Thursday on suspicion of misconduct in public office related to his links to Jeffrey Epstein, an extraordinary move in a country where authorities once sought to shield the royal family from embarrassment. It was the first time in nearly 4 centuries that a senior royal was placed under arrest, and it underscored how deference to the monarchy has eroded in recent years. The Thames Valley Police Force, which covers areas west of London, including Mountbatten Windsor's former home, said Thursday that a man in his 60s who is from Norfolk in eastern England had been arrested and was in custody. Police did not identify the suspect in line with standard procedures in Britain. Mountbatten Windsor, 66, moved to the King's private estate in Norfolk after he was evicted from his longtime home near Windsor Castle earlier this month. Police previously said they were assessing reports that Mountbatten Windsor sent trade information to Epstein, a wealthy investor and convicted sex offender, in 2010 when the former prince was Britain's special envoy for international trade. Correspondence between the two men was released by the U.S. Justice Department late last month, along with millions of pages of documents from the American investigation into Epstein. Police said they were searching 2 properties. Early in the day, pictures circulated online that appeared to show unmarked police cars at Wood Farm, Mountbatten, Windsor's home on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, with plainclothes officers gathering outside. Mountbatten Windsor has consistently denied any wrongdoing in his association with Epstein. The allegations being investigated Thursday are separate from those made by Virginia Giuffre, who claimed that she was trafficked to Britain to have sex with Andrew in 2001 when she was just 17. Giuffre died by suicide last year. Still, Giuffre's family praised the arrest, saying that their broken hearts have been lifted at the news that no one is above the law, not even royalty. The family added, "He was never a prince for survivors, and everywhere Virginia did this for you." A man was stabbed inside a downtown Toronto building on Thursday afternoon, police said. Officers responded to a stabbing call in a building near Queen Street West and Bathurst Street around 2:10 p.m. When they arrived, officers located a 33-year-old man with injuries, police say. Toronto paramedics tell Awaz News that the victim has been transported to a trauma center with serious, non-life-threatening injuries. No suspect information has been released. It is unclear what led to the stabbing. A Mississauga man is facing several charges in connection with a lengthy investigation into numerous home break-ins in Halton region, where more than $400,000 in valuables were stolen and the affected homes were significantly damaged. This arrest follows a spike in residential break-and-enters in 2025 in Milton, where the majority of these offences occurred after sunset and targeted unoccupied homes backing onto trail systems and green space corridors, say Halton Regional Police Service. Police say their extension investigation, which involved multiple specialized HRPS units, collaboration with external agencies as well as assistance from members of the public, revealed that two suspects used e-scooters to travel through trail networks, allowing them to move swiftly and quietly between neighborhoods before returning to a nearby getaway vehicle identified as a 2021 white Ford Explorer police interceptor model. On Tuesday, officers executed a number of search warrants in Mississauga, during which they allegedly seized numerous pieces of jewelry, trail cameras, and electronic devices believed to have been used to surveil and target residences. Abdelhamid Ziadinov, 29, of Mississauga, was arrested and charged with 26 offences related to 13 residential break-and-enters in Halton between September and December 2025. Break-and-enter and disguise with intent are among the charges the accused, who was held in custody pending a bail hearing, is facing. The second suspect remains at large, and investigators say they believe the pair are responsible for additional break-and-enters in Milton and surrounding communities. Police say they are now in process of contacting victims and returning the stolen property. An Ontario student is speaking out after she discovered she was on the hook for a $14,000 light therapy device she later regretted purchasing. Some of the free samples included a skin relaxer cream, said Meredith, a college student from Mississauga, who asked that we use only first name. While walking through a mall last November, Meredith told Awaz News she was offered free skincare samples and was told she was eligible for a free skin analysis. During the session, Meredith said a salesperson used a red light therapy device on her face. This is where they introduced the machine and started putting it on my face without me telling them, said Meredith. At the time, Meredith agreed to pay almost $1,400 for the device, but that was only a down payment. When Meredith got home, she realized she had signed a contract for $10,000 loan at 25% interest. With the deposit, it was a total commitment of about $14,000. I told them I can't pay $14,000, said Meredith, adding that I felt scared because I don't have the money. I'm just a student. Meredith signed the contract with the soap tree. She thought she had a cooling off period where she could return the product if she changed her mind. However, when she returned to the mall, the store from which she bought it was closed and the doors were locked. The store is not there, it's completely empty, and there is no furniture, there is no product, and the doors are closed, said Meredith. If someone comes to your home and you sign a contract, there is a 10-day cooling off period where you can return an item and cancel a service. However, it does not apply if you go to a retail store. Under consumer protection laws in Ontario, cooling off periods apply when signing a contract from a product or service in your home, joining a fitness club, buying a newly built condo, taking out a payday loan, or purchasing a timeshare. Awaz News has reached out to the soap tree about Meredith's situation but did not get a response. Awaz News also reached out to Go Easy, the parent company of LendCare, the company where Meredith holds a loan of $10,000. In a statement shared with Awaz News, a spokesperson said when a customer returns a retail purchase they finance through LendCare, the merchant must first process and approve the return before the associate LendCare loan can be cancelled. The spokesperson added that the company is conducting a review of the merchant and the circumstances around it, Meredith's situation, to determine whether any further action is required on our end. Meredith welcomed the cancellation of her contract and getting a refund. I'm really grateful for your help. The refund is in my hands and I'm really happy, said Meredith, who said she plans to be more careful signing contracts in the future.
Thank you for watching Awaz News. This is Kubra Ali. See you tomorrow. Have a good night.